joining us today. On behalf of Holt Construction, welcome to our series, Get to Work on Terminal 8. The strategic programming we have created in partnership with American Airlines to engage, inform, and hire certified MWBEs, LBEs, and members of Queens community interested in working on the JFK Terminal 8 expansion. My name is Chris Asaro, and I serve as president of Holt Construction, a family-owned and operated full-service construction management and general contracting firm. If you have never worked with Holt before, you should know that when it comes to diversity and inclusion, our commitment is built from the top down and from the inside out. We have taken on the JFK Terminal 8 expansion like all of our other projects, and that includes creating a tailored, unique, and comprehensive diversity plan. I'm excited to kick off today's session, and I hope you find the information engaging and informative. On behalf of Holt, I want to thank all of you for taking the time to join us, and I look forward to connecting and working with you. Now it is my pleasure to welcome our project partner and familiar face to this project, Sade Older-Pekin-Lewis, Regional Director of Government and Airport Affairs at American Airlines Terminal 8.
Hello, everyone. On behalf of American Airlines and the John F. Kennedy International Airport Terminal 8 expansion, welcome to today's Get to Work session. My name is Sade Older-Pekin-Lewis, and I serve as the Regional Director of Government Affairs for American Airlines. JFK is getting ready to welcome a new American Airlines Terminal 8. The project will improve the overall customer experience with a total of 70,400 square feet of added space, including 33,000 square feet of public space. Another 57,500 square feet of existing space will be refurbished. To build the new Terminal 8, American Airlines and Holt Construction are committed to engaging, preparing, and hiring certified minority and women-owned business enterprises, MWBEs, local business enterprises, LBEs, and construction workers for this project. This series of programming entitled Get Ready to Work at Terminal 8 has been strategically designed for certified firms and the local community workforce who would like to work on the JFK Terminal 8 expansion. I want to sincerely thank you for taking time out of your busy day to attend today's session. As a small business owner, we know you have a lot on your plate, and we will be respectful of your time today. The program is called Getting Certified with Port Authority of New York and New Jersey and Empire State Development, ESD. If you are not certified as an MWBE with either the Port Authority or New York State, this session is for you. Today, professionals from the Port Authority and ESD will help you navigate this important step in building your business. Now, let's get started with today's session.
Thank you, Sade. And welcome everyone to this week's Opportunity Friday, how to get certified with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey and Empire State Development. I would like to welcome our first speaker, Sucheta Premchand, Manager of Certification Programs at the Office of Diversity and Inclusion for the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. Welcome, Sucheta.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sucheta Premchand, Manager for Certification Programs in the Office of Diversity and Inclusion at the Port Authority of New York, New Jersey. Let me begin our session on certification by speaking a little bit about DNI or our Diversity and Inclusion Office. So what we try to do is maximize opportunities available for minority, women-owned, small, and disadvantaged business enterprises, as well as SDVOBs, which is Service Disabled Veteran-Owned Business. And we believe that our DNI's Supplier Diversity Program helps the region's certified firms, MWS DVOB, as well as DBEs, participate in Port Authority's business activities and provide diverse and inclusive contract opportunities. At the Port Authority of New York, New Jersey, we believe our operations should reflect the diversity of our community. And the agency has the following goals in our business opportunities: 20% participation goals for minorities, that's MBEs, 10% participation goals for WBs or women-owned business enterprise. And we encourage each of our partners, our tenants, to incorporate these goals in their business activities too. We also offer capacity building services for our certified firms. The first step, however, is certification. In the next slide, I'm going to talk about the different types of certification programs we have. We have Minority Business Enterprise, MBE, Women-Owned Business Enterprise, WBE, Small Business Enterprise, SBE, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, DBEs, Airport Concessionaires Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, ACDBE, Service Disabled Veteran-Owned Business, SDVOB. These are different types of certifications we have at the Port Authority, and each of these certifications have a validity period. So the MWB is renewed every 5 years. Small business is renewed every 3 years. DBE and ACDB is renewed every year. And service disabled veteran-owned business is renewed every 3 years. So now for MWS SDVOB, we utilize certification guidelines that is a Port Authority program. For DBE and ACDB, we use federal regulations. And in the next slide, I want to talk briefly about how our certification process works. It's a kind of a flow chart. So when an applicant submits the application through our portal, which is PANYNJ.diversitysoftware.com, we have an operations team that does a preliminary review. If any documents missing in the package, they'll return it to the applicant for the required documents. Once the complete package comes in, it gets assigned to an analyst. The analyst will do an in-depth analysis of the documents to determine if the firm meets certification guidelines, and if they do meet, it proves their eligibility for the program. And if you are eligible, you get certified. So then in the next slide, I'll talk about what are the eligibility criteria for certification. For an MWB, for both M and WB, 51% of the firm is owned and managed by minority or women owners who are citizens or permanent residents. They make the critical day-to-day decisions. Their capital contributions are real and substantial, and they've been in business for at least a year. With DBEs, it's 51% owned by individuals categorized as economically or socially disadvantaged citizens or permanent residents as per the guidelines CFR 49, Part 26, and has size standards for the program and industry. We use NAC codes. NAC is North American Industry Classification System codes. There's site visits required. And we have a UCP partnership, which is with both New York and New Jersey. ACDB is a DBE designed for airport concessionaires and has a higher threshold. With SBEs, SBE is race and gender neutral. We need firms to be based in New York and New Jersey, been in business for at least a year or more, and they meet the SBA, which is the Small Business Administration threshold standards for the industry. With construction firms, we need to have them qualified by our engineering department. SDVOB, or Service Disabled Veteran-Owned Business, is 51% owned and managed by Service Disabled Veteran Owner. We'll ask for a letter or documentation issued by Veteran Affairs showing their SDVOB status, and the principal place of business is New York and New Jersey. With that, I go on to the next slide, where I'm talking about what is the focus of the certification process. The focus of the certification process, in the first place, we want to increase participation of eligible firms, but we also need to make sure that we have ensure that the integrity of the program is maintained. To do so, we look at the application, we analyze the application and all supporting documents, and if necessary, we do a site review. If the firm is eligible, we designate them for the application that they're applying for, either as MBE, WBE, SBE, SDVOB, NDB, or ACDB. So when we review, what are we looking for? We are looking to make sure that there is, for ownership, control, capital contribution, and expertise. We make sure all these documents that is supporting shows us the eligibility for the particular certification you're applying for. And then in the next slide, I'll just talk briefly about what are the documentations that support certification. The first thing is the signed and notarized verification and validation form. Then we check to see valid US passport, either valid resident alien card and or birth certificate, taxes for the last 3 years, articles of incorporations and stock certificates, bylaws or operating agreement. We look at executed contract. We look at resumes, bank signature cards, leases, agreements, specialty license or documentation related to business, certification of business if applicable. So like I said, we look at all these documents to make sure your firm is eligible for the certification you're applying for. And if eligible, we give it to you in writing. If not eligible, then we give you due process. So in this next slide, I'm just going to talk to you briefly about the different certification resources we have. PA website has detailed information about the certification process. The link is www.panynj.gov/supplier diversity. For certification, the portal this is the certification portal to apply for, panynj.diversitysoftware.com. We also have certification hotline. If you need assistance at any time, call 212-435-7888. We also have certification help email, which is certhelp@panynj.gov. And we encourage firms seeking certification to first register or also register with procurement at www.paprocure.com to be considered for business opportunities, and to fill out what we call the PSFQ, or the Professional Services Firm Questionnaire, to participate in A&E business, which is architectural and engineering business opportunities. And here are some contact information of all certification analysts in our team. Any of them you can call, reach out, email. We're always willing to help. And just a few pointers. The system sends out, once you're certified with us, the system sends emails 90 days, 60 days, 30 days before expiration. It's just kind of as a reminder that your certification is coming up for renewal. And then it's up to you to make sure that you keep it current. We also want to remind you to keep your business profile up to date, because what happens is, if your number or your address or some information is not up to date, you may lose an opportunity when it comes up. So, make sure that you keep us up posted on any change that's in your business profile. And we want you to get certified with us. We want you to benefit from your certification, but first we need you to apply. Apply and apply. If you need assistance, we've already given you names and numbers and a hotline, and a certification email hotline. So feel free to reach out to any of us. So with that, I wrap up my presentation. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk to you, and have a lovely day. Thank you.
Thank you, Sucheta. I would now like to welcome Lourdes Martinez, Senior Business Development Associate and Program Manager for the Division of Minority and Women's Business Development at Empire State Development. Welcome, Lourdes.
Hello and welcome. My name is Lourdes Martinez. I'm with the Empire State Division of Minority Women Business Development. Today's presentation, I will provide an overview and the benefits of being New York State MWBE certified, followed by New York State MWBE eligibility requirements, and finally, additional resources. Just to give you a little bit of background story, in 2014, Governor Cuomo set 30% MWBE utilization goals on contract opportunities So what this means that we are working incredibly hard to eliminate barriers for MWBE's opportunities. And of course, this is a work in progress. In the fiscal year of 2019-2020, the MWBE participation increased to 29.51, which is presently the highest in the nation, winning nearly $3.14 billion in state contracts. So what this number represents is that we are doing a great deal, or we have a great deal of opportunities for all of you within New York State. And so the purpose of this webinar is to provide you all an overview on our certification process and give you some insight on how to obtain opportunities in doing business with New York State. And so these are some of our division resources in what we do and in what we provide. And I just want to make sure that I want to share this information with all of you. So the first thing that I want to start here, what is our mission? Our mission is fairly simple. We aim to promote equality of economic opportunities for MWBEs and to eliminate barriers to their participation in state contracts. And these are some of our three key objectives. So we work with the 97 agencies and authorities to ensure that there's a fair share of work for contracts to provide to MWBEs. Second point is that we maintain a directory of certified MWBEs, which is nearly, I would say 88 plus firms in our directory. And this is the reason why you all want to become certified. Finally, we have the business development. This is the unit that I am so proud to be part of. So once you become certified, you will be able to work with me. We will be able to work together on how to navigate procurement opportunities in the process and learn and see what all the agencies do and what they buy. And obviously, you want to become a vendor with the New York State. So if you want to learn more about that, you could visit our website. It's on the screen. And and you should be all getting a copy of this presentation. On this slide, there's a few resources that I would like to share with you from our sister division, the Office of Small Business and Technology. I highly recommend for you to connect with them and learn more about their program. It's fantastic. So if you are familiar with some of this program, and in case you may not, you should still visit our website. So just to highlight, they have the New York Forward Loan Program, the Empire State Digital, the Small Business Lease Assistance, and the New York State STAR. And these are just a few that I'm listing here, but they also have a lot of information on opportunities on other loan programs as well as grants. Just to give you a briefly overview here, we are going to be reviewing the eligibility. And one thing I want to mention here is the Article 15.8 of the Executive Law. The reason why I want to highlight this is because recently in December 2019, the Article 15.8 of the Executive Law has been reauthorized by the governor until 2024. So the reason why this is a key element is so important to you because it speaks out of the framework that we do to work with the MWBEs. So when we talk about contracting opportunities and eliminating barriers, everything falls within the Article 15.8. So now we're going to get into the certification process and eligibility, just to provide you a quick overview and requirements and what exactly you need to do in order to get certified. So I know that you've seen a lot of different information in here, and in order to be eligible with the New York State certification, you need to be a profit firm, at least 51% owned, operating, and controlled by a citizen or resident alien, either a woman or in the men's group. So these are a list of some of these are some of the lists that you are seeing here of groups such as Black, Hispanic, Asian Pacific, Asian Indian, and Native American. And you're going to get a copy of this presentation. We'll be able to provide you more specific on what these groups are. So whether you have any questions on any of these minority groups, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. So on this next slide, I know there's a lot of wording, and just to give you a summary of everything that is on this slide, and obviously you're going to get a copy of this presentation. So there's a few things you need to know about the certification process. So what is ownership, operation, and control? So for ownership, we are looking for owners that have 51% of capital contribution investment. So we're looking for property contribution and expertise. So you might be asking yourself, how do I monetize my expertise? So we suggest that you do a market research and in terms of what you're being paid and what you work for and the skills that you have set and things of that nature, and then you take it from there. The next thing is the operation. We want to see that you have been actively involved with your business, that you are the person who's doing the hiring, the firing, negotiating of those contracts. You overseeing the business, supervising. You also are in charge of the payroll. So that's what we're looking for in terms of operation. And it also depends on the legal structure of the business. So for those that know, if you are a corporation or an LLC, the requirements are different. And we just want to see who is the forefront core operating person of the business, who has the signatory power to sign and give the okay. So that's what we're looking for in terms of operation and control. So the next item here, the personal net worth restriction, as I mentioned earlier, under the reauthorization of Article 15.8, this also changed. So each minority or women owner cannot have more than 15 million after allowable deduction. It does not include ownership interests in the certified Mwbe, individuals in his or her primary residence, and the last point here is up to $750,000 on any qualified retirement savings plan. So you may want to know how to calculate this personal net worth or your personal net worth. We do have a PDF form that will be able to do that for you. On the next item here, the small business restriction. So a business is restricted to it cannot have more than 300 employees, and that includes full-time or part-time. Again, you cannot have no more than 300 employees, full-time or part-time. The other item here is how you are independently owned of your business. So in the example that you are working with another business on a contractual basis and you're working on a specific project, what we're saying here is if you take your business separated from the other business that you're working with or you have partnered with, can you operate your business solely? Can you operate your business on your own, that you are not relying heavily on the other business? So for business that are active, what we want to see here, that you have been active in the New York State with contractual agreements. So sometimes you may have a job and have a business, and that's okay. But just a side note, everyone will be assigned a certification analyst. They will be doing the analysis in your paperwork, and they will be reviewing all your documents. So what we want to see here is that you are operating your business, that you are maintaining your contractual agreement, and there's proof of payment of your work. Again, not too worried if you're running another business and you also have your business as well. We're going to be looking into all your paperwork and see how you've been operating your business, at least for a year or more, the most. So pretty much everything it's highlighted in the presentation, and I hope this actually is helpful. For additional information, you will be able to contact our help desk, just for clarity. So the last bullet point here is if you are out of state. So in the example, if you're in Maryland and you are part of the Mwbe program there, we want to see that if they have a program, that you have applied for that program there before applying for our Mwbe certification, that you have the authority to do business with New York State. And just to be clear, if you have a sole proprietorship or partnership, you must get authority from the county clerk. Now, if you have a corporation or an LLC, you must get the authority by the Department of State. So great. So this is exactly where you need to go. This is called the New York State Contract System to get certified. And for those that are listening in and they're already certified and you might want to get recertified, you submit a profile, and this is where you go. The website information is right on your screen. So once you get to that page, you're going to see that section that says Mwbe. So if you're looking to get, again, certified or recertified, it's now for recertifications I mentioned earlier. It's every 5 years based on reauthorization on Article 15.8. Before that, it used to be 3 years, but we have changed the requirement to make it easier for all of you. And this is the biggest benefit of becoming certified with the New York State. Again, you want to create an account, and you're going to be choosing option 1 for new application. For those that are, again, are already certified or they want to update the profile, you just click on option 2 and you log into your account. So before we get started, just briefly, the certification process is one of the common questions on why should I become Mwbe certified with the New York State? So that's an excellent question. And so our biggest advantage for businesses to become certified is our directory. It's the #1 place where agencies and authorities, prime contractors, and municipalities search for Mwbes, and it's greatly significant for all of you. So once you create an account in the New York State Contract System, you're going to be asked questions about your business name, if you are DBA, hours of operation. What we consider to be a profile is the electronic business card of your business. And this is an important tool, as I mentioned earlier. Why? Because, again, the agencies and authorities, the prime contractors, municipalities are all going to be looking for Mwbes that are able to fulfill various work that they are looking for. So you want to be as thorough, and you want to make sure that your information is current. So I know that we always moving fast, so you want to make sure that your email address is correct, your contact number is correct, in case that they will be able to connect with you. Okay, any business can have a vendor's profile, regardless of the certification status. Again, you want to be thorough and you want to be accurate, and this is the key, and it's very important that you actually make sure that that is correct. So the last point here, we want to emphasize that a vendor profile is not the same as a certification application. We sometimes get some confusion where we get emails from folks that want to know the status, but unfortunately they have not submitted an application. They just have done a vendor's profile. So you want to make sure that you go a little bit deep into the process, so you submit an application to us. Most of you have never submitted an application, so it's going to prompt you to a new application. Great, so I'm sure that some of you have heard of the fast track application. So if you are certified with any of our partners, you will be able to submit a fast track application, but I'm going to give you a little bit more insight of how that works. So what the fast track is saying is that it does not speak on the processing time, but it does speak about we are working hard to streamline the process for all of you. So these are some of our partners. Again, as I mentioned earlier, if you are certified with one of our partners, you will be able to submit an application. And as I stated earlier, you're gonna get a copy of this. Also, so if you are New Jersey-based firms, you can apply for a fast track application through the Port Authority, through the New York and New Jersey Minority Supplier Development Council. Also, for those that are DBE or federal aid, you will be able to submit a fast track application I just want to give you some key points here. So the process is you go through the New York State contract system. You will click on option 1 for fast track non-new application. And again, the benefit is it reduces the number of paperwork that you need to submit. And one key element of all of this, your application must be current, and you need to have at least, you cannot have no more than 3 months before expiration to be eligible for the fast track. Again, I'm going to repeat that so it could be clear that it's important that your certification must be current and that you have no more than 3 months remaining before expiration to be eligible for the fast track. Okay, so we actually going into almost, we're wrapping it up here, folks. So the technical assistance providers, if you need any assistance from one of our partners, these are some of our key partners, and you should be able to find one in your region. And the last slide, this is me, this is us, business development contact information. Feel free to reach out to us. And for the help desk, the certification unit, this is their contact information. Now that we're working remotely, you could just send them an email. There's a quick turnaround time. They're working very hard, and we are here Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And please make sure that you reach out to us for any questions. We will be happy to help you. Thank you so much for joining this presentation.
Thank you, Lourdes. And now it's time for our project update.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm going to go through a few of the opportunities for the Terminal 8 project before we bring back our panel. Let's start with the first opportunity, which is TAA number 2, which is the head house expansion, 30-foot bump out, exterior closure, and interiors. This project is due to be bid late March of 2021. Within this opportunity are the following: HVAC, valued at $500,000 to $750,000. Electrical for the first floor scope, valued at $1 to $1.5 million. Painting, valued at $100,000 to $150,000. There's also a finishes scope, which is going to include the following scopes of work: millwork, terrazzo, flooring, feature walls, ornamental metal and glass, signage, and toilet partitions. The next opportunity is TAA 4, 60-foot B concourse expansion, exterior enclosure, and interior finishes. This project is currently being bid. Bids are due back to Holt Construction by March 16th. Within this scope of work are the following packages: carpentry, valued at $600,000 to $700,000. HVAC, valued at $475,000 to $600,000. Flooring, valued at $100,000 to $125,000. Plumbing scope, valued at $100,000 to $120,000. Painting, valued at $40,000 to $60,000. Millwork, valued at $120,000 to $140,000. Glass and glazing scope, valued at $60,000 to $80,000. Electrical, valued at $300,000 to $500,000. There is also a labor package included in this work of $150,000 to $250,000. Please ensure that you have your pre-qualification submitted and approved to Holt Construction to ensure that you are on the bidders list for these opportunities. Remember that you must be pre-qualified prior to receipt of any bid packages. If you need further information on how to start your pre-qualification for the Terminal 8 project, please send an email to our team at jfkt8@holtcc.com. Make sure you put your trade in the email body, and one of our professionals will grab your email and start your pre-qualification. And now let me bring back Sucheta Premchand, Manager of Certification Programs at the Office of Diversity and Inclusion for the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. And Lourdes Martinez, Senior Business Development Associate and Program Manager for the Division of Minority and Women Business Development at Empire State Development. And let me introduce all of you for the first time to Liza, Senior Certification Analyst at the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. Welcome, ladies, and thank you for joining us today. And we'll start the Q&A. The first question that we have is, how can someone check the status of their certification application with the Port Authority and with the ESD? So, Lourdes, would you like to start from the ESD's point of view?
Sure. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So for the certification status, you could check the information on where your application is at in terms of the New York State contract system. I understand that you probably have some questions in regards to how come it might be taking so long, but you all should be getting a copy of the presentation. So if anything, just reach out to our business development unit to get more update on your application, and we'll be more than happy to follow up. But again, please don't be alarmed if by any chance you don't see anything yet. As you know, we take a high integrity in the program, and we do have a little bit of a backlog. Just for the transparency sense, I want to make sure that you all aware of that. But we are doing the best that we can during this time to make sure that we are looking through all the applications in a timely fashion.
Thank you, Lourdes. Sucheta and Liza, would you like to answer as far as the Port Authority, how someone would check the status of their application?
Okay, let me take that question, Liza. So as far as we have our applications coming into us through our portal, which is the website through which you apply for us. And it's my understanding you can see your status over there. The other thing we have is also a hotline you can call to see what the status. Anybody will help you. We have an operations team that can answer your questions, and we try to answer as much as we can. The number is 212-435-7888. Did I get that right? 212-435-7888. And as Lourdes mentioned, you know, everyone has their backlog. We try and help as much as we can under the circumstances, but we're there to help you. We also have an email, which is certhelp@panynj.gov. So reach out to us. We'll give you the update on status that you're looking for.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is, can a firm apply for both a WBE and an SBE? Sucheta or Liza, would you like to start with that on the Port Authority side?
Sure, I can answer.
Okay.
If you fit all the requirements for both of the programs, then yes, you'd be able to get certified in both.
Okay. Lourdes, for ESD?
Yes, actually, that is correct. So they will be able to apply for both.
Great. The next question is, how can someone check on, I'm sorry, wrong question. What is the executed contract resume? I don't have a contract with my client, but 1099 NEC, can that be a substitute?
Okay, so should I take that question, Liza?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not
So
sure.
basically what it is there's a set of documents we review when we ensure eligibility of your application for the certification they're applying for. So these are some of the documents we look at. So it's not like there's a executed contract resume. No, it's executed contracts. I should have put a comma probably, and or resume or some of the documents that we look at.
Great. This next question will be for both ESD and for the Port Authority. I'll start with you, Lourdes. Does a company have to have employees in order to be certified as a Wmbe?
According to the requirements of the application, a firm could have up to 300 employees. That means full-time and part-time. But again, when you submit an application, you get an assigned. you get an assigned analyst, and they will be screening your application, reviewing all the paperwork. And if they have any questions, obviously they're going to reach out to you. I just want to just highlight here that if you have any questions regarding your application, our contact number is the 212-803-2414. Unfortunately, I do not know the email address by heart. Again, but my contact information is there. Feel free to reach out. And I definitely will be able to provide you that information.
Great. And I also want to remind everyone that all of these sessions are available on demand on the website, and our consultants will put that in the chat for you. So whenever these sessions are over, if you have a question or if you missed one, they're always available on demand, so you could see them and you can go back and pause and take notes on everything. I know there's a lot of information that we provide, so we always have them on demand so you could go back and ask questions.
Thank you.
And then Sucheta and Liza, as far as the Port Authority, does a company have to have employees in order to be certified as an M or a WBE?
No, so if you don't have employees, that's fine. You can still become certified.
Yeah, to add to Liza's comment, as far as eligibility for MWB with the Port Authority is concerned, we do not have the employee or small business restriction that Lourdes spoke about.
Great. And Lourdes, this next question is for you. I know you discussed the fast track application that ESD has. Is that available for companies that are located out of state?
I'm trying to just, sorry, I'm just trying to go through the requirement process. I might want to take that question a little bit offline just to get more information on the firm. I do not want to give the wrong information on live here. So if I can just connect with that individual.
Okay, we could set that up.
Okay.
Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
For Sucheta and Liza, question. Once the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey application is in the review stage, how long does it take to be certified?
That's a tough question to answer, right, Liza? Because it depends on a number of factors. One is the completeness of the package. One is, are there additional information we need to make that determination? We may reach out to the applicant. Give and take, we would say anyway, 2 months to 3 months, Liza, would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. So like 60, 30 to 90 days for sure.
Okay. We get the same question on our pre-qualification side, how long it takes. And it really is, it can go as fast as your paperwork is. So we always guide people to say that find out what the requirements are, get all your paperwork together, and then do your submission. It's more efficient way to do it rather than start going through it and then continue and continue and continue. So best practice, in our opinion, is gather all your paperwork, get everything ready, and then do your submission.
Absolutely.
And then it's always great to answer questions. And, you know, if for on our side, for subcontractors, if you have a pre-qualification in and you haven't heard from us in a couple weeks and you're curious, send us an email. In the chat is the jfkt8.com email. Send us an email and let us know that you submitted your pre-qual, you haven't received a bid package. Just, you know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So make sure you let us know what's going on and we'll pick you up. And maybe there's not a package out yet, but at least you know where you stand. Next question. Does the Port Authority accept New York State MWBE certification on their projects?
So for certification, we have the reciprocal process with New York State and City. That would be when they apply the first time. If they've submitted a PA addendum, we would work with it. But as far as contracts is concerned or projects is concerned, it would be what it is in the contract.
Yes, and specifically for the Terminal 8 project, you can be a certified MBE with the ESD or with the Port Authority of New York, New Jersey. So both Both certifications act as equal on the Terminal 8 project. So if you have one or the other, or if you have both, you're certified for our project. The next question for Lourdes, what is ESD, and do you have to be a citizen to complete the Mwbe certification?
Can you hear me? Okay, I did unmute myself, sorry. So according to the requirements, you have to be a resident and as well, or a citizen in order to qualify for the application.
Great. Last question for this afternoon. If you're already an MBE certified and you're currently working on an MTA or a DASD job, is there a fast track for approval for either entity? So I'll start with you, Lourdes.
So that's an excellent question, and we actually get that a lot. So this has a two-part answer, because one is the fast track process. It's I know that we tend to stick with it. Maybe it means that the process is being fast tracked, but unfortunately, what that means is that it's streamlining the application process. So we cannot set in stone that it's going to take X amount of time because it's a fast track process. However, in order to expedite an application, there has to be an existing contract with one of the agencies or authorities that you will be doing, that you have a pending contract with, and they are the ones that will be able to submit an expedited form on your behalf to the help desk at the certification unit.
Great.
Does that answer the question? Yes.
I think it does.
Okay.
And then,
all right, thank you.
So,
and the last, oh, go ahead, Sucheta, I'm sorry.
I'd like to ask too, was that question directed to us, or it's just?
It was specifically for Lourdes.
Okay, I'm up. All right.
And then one last question for both that we keep getting. We do have a lot of new subcontractors that join these sessions, and they are not familiar with either one of your groups. So Lourdes, we get a question that says, what is the ESD? Could you say what the ESD is and what territories you cover specifically? Okay,
great. So the Empire State Development, the unit that I am part of, my region, it's New York City, Mid-Hudson, Long Island. And just to give you background information, my role is to provide technical assistance to the firms. So in a hypothetical world, let's say that you need to gain knowledge and information on what agencies buy your services. That's the kind of assistance that we will be able to provide. In addition to that, we actually help you to navigate some of the resources that we have available. We do a lot of hand holding, but we also work very, very well with our partners that will be able to extend that hand. But we have a lot of great resources in terms of like contracting opportunities and who are and how to identify those agencies and authorities, as well as what upcoming procurement opportunities they have available. So we provide a lot of resources in that area. So the way we like to take this approach, because I feel we all know everybody is unique and every firm is unique. So we like to take one-on-one time with that firm and just arrange a call and just see where you at and see what type of assistance you need. Now, to be clear, we work with a certified firm. So you have to be certified in order for you to gain any opportunities with the agencies and authorities, but that doesn't mean that we will not take the time to speak to you, just to be clear. But yeah, just again, as mentioned, you should be seeing this presentation and feel free to reach out, don't hesitate. And just make sure that all your questions get answers. We have a lot of great resources, and check out our website. What else can I say?
Thank you, Lourdes. And Sucheta, for the Port Authority, what does the Port Authority do? What areas do you cover, and how do you help minority and women-owned businesses find jobs, work?
Okay, so as far as our Office of D&I is concerned, there are certain programs that we have, certification being one of them. It could be different outreaches that we have to make sure that you're aware of upcoming opportunities. We have goals in our contracts. We have training that we provide for our certified firms. There's mentor protege program for construction firms. We're also working on other related areas like A&E and stuff. There's a cohorts that's managed by our D&I group. There are a lot of business options. We also work on, like Lourdes had mentioned, breaking down barriers on contractual obligations of the agency, but that's beyond certification. So as far as opportunities are concerned, most of our opportunities are published on our website. They are not, well, pretty much most of them, except for set-asides. Set-asides are ones that are set aside for certified firms. So, there's a lot out there. Go to our website, www.PANYNJ.gov, and there's a whole section on doing business with the Port Authority. There's business opportunities, contracts that are out there that are publicly advertised is out there. So that's a lot, and you can always reach out to procurement department, ask them if they have opportunities that are coming up, and so on and so forth. But the thing is, you need to, just because you're certified, it doesn't stop there. You have to go that extra step to make sure what's out there, to get, to reach out and see what opportunities you can tap into.
Right, that's great advice. And I think that was our last question for this afternoon. So thank you, panel. That was great. I think you helped a lot of our viewers today with a lot of questions that they had on how to get certified. So thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. And for next week, Opportunity Friday's webinar will highlight workforce opportunities for the Queens community. We have speakers that are going to discuss the Edward J. Malloy Initiative for Construction Skills. This program is dedicated to preparing a trained and skilled workforce from the 5 boroughs of New York City for careers in the unionized construction industry. Participants will learn about the unionized apprenticeship training, education, certification, high wages, health benefits, and retirement security. So I welcome everyone to join us next week at 12 o'clock, as always. And thank you for joining us this week. Thank you to our panel, and have a great weekend. Thank you.